We have all been there. You have a sink in your bathroom, it's not draining right, something's clogged. Videos like this are manifold, there's probably thousands of them. But if you're, for example, a college kid, live in your first own place, nobody in your family has ever shown you how to deal with a clogged sink, here we go. It's not complicated, you need barely any tools. Let's get to it. So this is the situation. My wife's sink won't drain anymore. I mean, it drains, but not as it should. Also, the faucet runs like, you'll see, like that. This is annoying. It's not doing any harm, but it splatters everywhere. Also, clearly not the way you want it to run. And if I fill up the sink, the drain is all the way open here. The drain plug is open, but you see it takes forever for it to drain. So what usually happens is you brush your teeth in the sink. Maybe you use some sort of cosmetics and you clean yourself up. You have hair, dust, whatever, collecting with all this sludge that comes from your toothpaste and cosmetics and whatever other products you might put in there. And it forms a clog in that little trap under the sink. Okay, so if it's really the case that you only have the clog in the trap here, then all you need tool-wise is just a bucket or a bowl. To put under here. And you need these pliers. Which are adjustable and fit typically your connectors here around the trap. So I'm going to try to set up the foam where we can see this. Okay, I'm going to try my best. I'll leave the bucket out for now just for better visibility here. I'm going to hopefully put it on there in time. So as you can see, these are adjustable and fit many different diameters. And all you got to do is loosen these here. That yellow glue here is all plumber's tape. I'm going to replace that later. It just helps sealing. Let's see, that's dribbling. Bucket. Okay. The water's already running out. Doesn't smell too good because it's been stale in there. It's been standing with leftover all toothpaste, cosmetics, and whatever. Okay, once these are loose, you can just loosen them all the way and take that entire trap out, like so. So this whole piece comes out and it smells awful. Don't feel bad about yourself. It literally happens to everyone. I guess it's the nature of the beast. Although when I look into it, I gotta say it looks pretty clean. I mean, it's not clean, but it looks clear. I don't see any blockage. It's a little bit of a surprise. So I want to test something. So this is straight open now. Here from the drain plug, this comes out right here and goes into the bucket. If I turn on the water and this doesn't flow well, and that means the clog is obviously right here in this little piece. If it flows well, then I have blockage further down the outlet, right? It seems okay. So I can see now. Earlier I was able to easily fill up the sink here. It drains fairly quickly now. It seems normal to me. So there's not much blockage here. So this is not exactly what I expected. Although you can see there's some hair coming out. Let's see. All right, plan B. First I'm gonna just get out whatever's in here. I want to try at least. It's always good to have some wire handy. I'm just gonna turn this into a little hook and just kind of move it up and down and see if I can catch anything, but there's not much in there. The bigger problem is further down the outlet pipe here, and for that there's a handy tool called a snake. It looks like this. You get it at every Home Depot, Lowe's, maybe even at some grocery stores. And they often have a little section with handy tools. Should be fairly cheap. I don't remember, but I don't think it's much more than $20. This is just a long spiral, 50 feet or so. That's wrapped up in here, and you can little by little push it through the pipe, and when it gets stuck, all you do is you can crank here at the end and see how that moves then. That works its way down the pipe, and it's flexible enough that it can follow any bends. And then hopefully I can push through whatever is causing a blockage, and then the further drain in the future will work it out. So let's hope for the best. Already coming out there. Okay. No, there's not much in there. It's all open. All right, here we go. Let's use the snake. And here we go with our little snake. Push this through here. And I'm going to move it as far as it wants to move. And when I hit a resistance, like now it doesn't seem to move any further. Now I take this side here, I hope it's in the camera, and push it back a little bit and tighten that little screw here. And now just crank it, put sort of tension on that spiral along the way, and then careful to knock the camera over. Eventually. See, and now I can move it further. Okay, now loosen this again, and push it further. as far as it lets me. I don't know, at some point it probably reaches a little grate where it actually exits the house. And there's just usually what clogs your sink and your pipes. It's usually nothing really solid, right? It's usually a collection of gunk that builds up. And with this I can hopefully poke through. And when water flows again at proper speed, it should leave the stuff with it. Now if it becomes a persistent issue, you have this happening every week, then eventually you probably need bigger guns, so to speak, better tools, or just a plumber. So far I've been able to help myself this way. So now I'm going to slowly pull this back. This was in the pipe. You can see it's definitely a little bit nasty when it comes out, so definitely touch something. Now the only way to test it is to put the trap back on and let the water on. So let's do that. Before I do that, here the yellow stuff I peeled off. This is all plumber's tape. Plumber's tape is pretty handy. It lets you wrap it around the thread here. And it helps sealing this, because after all, this is just plastic on plastic, and it might leak a little water out. Normally I would drain this out here, but flush it out, but as it's all open, there's really nothing to do here much. So I'm just gonna wrap it with fresh plumber's tape. You get this at every home improvement store. It comes in a little spool like this. Looks like so. Here. It's kind of flexible. You just wrap it around. I hope it's on the camera here. You just wrap it around the thread. You don't have to be particularly careful or detailed with it. You just kind of give it a little extra mass, a little extra for the thread to grab onto, and you can just rip it off. There we go. And I hope that was visible. I'm going to do the same here. No, actually the other one. Let's kind of wrap it around here. And to my knowledge, I mean, there's probably lots of plumbers that will kick my butt for this, but to my knowledge, as long as it fills some of the thread, it gives enough grip where it seals this off. And usually you don't have to expect any dripping here, because there's not a whole lot of pressure on, right? You're just draining your sink, and it should just flow. So unless it's this really open, it shouldn't come out here. Okay. This goes back on. This is in camera. Yep. Let's push this back on here. Get get your connectors back on. If you ever have a crack in one of these, for whatever reason, old wear and tear, I don't know, you can buy these traps at every Home Depot and Lowe's and such, Ace and whatever. And they come in several standard sizes, so take the sample with you to compare. But they're cheap and easy to replace. Okay, so I get a good grip here. I'll tighten it by hand for now, because I just want to test it first. At the bottom here of your faucet, they just eventually they calcify from the water's pretty hard here where we live in Houston. And several of these jets just clog. And I have some little scrubby brush here. Brush the calcification off. Should unclog the little jets. There you go. That's all you need. And now this is the way the water should flow. It rains pretty good, but I see here, I should have put the bucket. It's actually leaking somewhere. So it's probably because I didn't tie it up enough. So old towel to the rescue. I'm gonna sweep this up here real quick. I'm gonna put my bucket. There. Okay. Let's see where it runs out. I'm not sure where it runs. Let's see. Oh, see right there? It comes out of there. It drains better. But I either have a crack there or I just didn't tighten it enough yet. So I'll let it finish. And take the bucket away and tighten this more and then see if it's fine then. Yeah, it's definitely too loose. And always remember, after tight comes loose. Don't overdo it if you wear out the thread. Then you need to replace this part. That's gonna be a pain. Let's try it again. Put the bucket under. See if it still drips. No more dripping. At least not yet. Sink is draining so. Actually still not great. Better. Not awesome though. And I still have some leakage. Okay, I got a little more light. Took the trusty pliers. Tightened a little more. Turn the sink up. Turns out here my drain plug is also has something wrong with that. There's a little lever on there, but right now it's fully open. Yeah, that sounds bad. There it comes. Okay, this time comes here. See that? So that's not fully tight. Not good. Oh, it comes out everywhere. It comes from here. It comes actually from here. Here's something leaking. Look at that.
Okay, that's not what I expected at all. Okay. New objective. I get my flashlight. It seems to come out from right there. There, I'm shining the light. The tricky thing here is there's a gasket right here in between the ring and the sink outlet. There's a gasket, a rubber gasket, and that is probably bad. I might have just given it its last little movement here that caused it to start leaking when I worked here, because that issue wasn't why I started. Now the tricky part is to unscrew this, because the top ring, this here, moves with it when I try to loosen this. I'll try this. You can see how the ring moves with it. So that's a problem. I had to buy a second plier so I can hold on to the stem pipe here. And forgive me if I use wrong terminology, I'm by no means a plumber. While losing the nut up there. So I hope you can see that. I'm gonna try to lean the phone here. Tripod doesn't cut it. Go wide angle. I'm gonna go wide angle, lean the phone here. I hope it's visible. So I'm holding on here and using this way. Actually, I'm not sure at what point I should be able to take this out. Okay, it's already working. Do this. This part. Okay. Now you have that whole mechanic here that can open and close the drain plug. I guess this comes off. Alright. So I got this off now. This is the lever that opens and closes the drain plug. Look at all the sludge that builds up. And I got this off now from here. This was here. Needed 2 pliers for that. And now I'm gonna loosen that bolt here, and then I will be able to take the whole drain plug out, and I hope that I can replace the rubber gasket. It's very hard to reach. I'm a big person, this is a small cabinet. can because the flange up there is spinning with it. So I need to hold that stem piece here and move the. Is it even gonna work? Is it even gonna come out? Not sure what I'm looking at there. Yes, it is going to come out. Okay. Keep trying. But we're getting somewhere. Okay, I'm making progress. If you ever have to do something like this and the nut is too tight because it's just old and it starts corroding and gets stuck, a useful helper is always, where is it? Here. Get some WD-40, specifically the silicone lubricant. It definitely helps you spray that on the thread. I just did already, so I don't have to do it again in the camera here. It definitely helps getting stuck metal on metal moving a little bit. And I'm gonna pause here and screw somewhere. You don't need to see every movement here, and I get back when this is loose. I have to make all the way down here. I'm almost at the end here. So for this you definitely should have two pliers, one to hold the stem, the other one to unscrew the bolt, and then you do this counter movement here. And it looks like I didn't mangle the thread yet. I hope it'll be fine. Should be a brass piece, so it should be fairly sturdy. Okay, here we go. Towards the end. There it is. Okay. Now I can pull this washer down. There. And pull this gasket off. Next I need two hands for that. Now I could pull that whole piece out from the top of the sink. See how messed up that is. I'm gonna clean it and I'm gonna buy a new gasket from Ace or Home Depot or somewhere. And I hope it's gonna stop the leak.
Your sink has an overflow here. Every sink has that. And it keeps you from flooding your bathroom in case your drain plug is closed and you forgot to turn the faucet off or the kids were playing. The water would eventually reach the top of your sink and flood your bathroom. That's why all bathrooms have this. Not all bathrooms, all sinks have that. Your sink is double walled, so water enters here, goes down in the inside of the sink and comes out here. There's a little outlet, and that had some sludge in it. It feels like I got it out already. A little bit of debris. I got a bucket under right now. So yeah, there's some stuff I can feel. Almost like pebbles or something. So just keep an eye on that. If there's anything noticeable, try to get it out, since you already have access to this and there's more in it. So that's the entire piece as I got it out so far. Still not sure why it's leaking, but I'm assuming this gasket here might be as old as the house, which is close to 20 years. I just want to make sure. I don't think any of this is expensive. I'm gonna buy either a gasket or maybe the whole assembly here and just replace it. I just went to Ace, bought this kit here. This is my wife's sink, and I thought maybe I get her a apparently solid one that has a metal body instead of just replacing the washer and then still have the old rest there that might fail next. I think I want to just replace the entire thing. I hope that everything fits. It looks like it would. The stem here is much longer. I'm not sure if that's going to pose a problem or not, if I have to cut something off. I will see when I'm back home. So I definitely kept the receipt just in case. Okay, friends, I made it back home. So just to illustrate what that concept here normally is. So this is the trap under my sink, right? And the flange here, the drain assembly sits in the sink, comes out from under the sink. And then I have this piece on there. That's what it looks like. And then that whole thing ends up in the trap here with that little plastic nut here to connect it. So my new assembly is like this. I bought a complete set. So it has a new plug, a new flange. Where'd the plug go? Oh, it's still in the box. This is where that lever ends up for that pop-up mechanism. And this is a little longer than the old one. But this plastic part is sort of already integrated here, right? So actually it's the same length. So what I need now is I need to move this ring over to here. And this is held back, so it actually seals by a little, a flexible plastic ring here. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand here, so it's iffy. Okay, I'm gonna take this and mount it on my new stem pipe here. Still don't know if that's the right word, so that's what I call it. And I made a mistake already before I do this. Obviously, I also got to move the ring over, right? This here. So this goes on here. And this goes on here. And this is adjustable, so later I can make it fit to it whatever length I need. Cool. I'm going to take this apart, put the flange in from the top. This ring is the flange. And with it, of course, comes a new gasket, a new plastic washer here. And in modern fashion, this is not metal anymore. So I just have to trust that this will do the job. All right, so I need my hands now and put the phone away. And when I have it apart and then install it, I'll try to record this. Okay, flange comes off very easily. I mean, obviously it's all new, so nothing is stuck here, and there it is. So this will end up here, right? This comes in from the bottom. And then I hope I can tighten this without any stress. Hope for the best. Okay, this is cleaned up. Okay. So this part has a gasket and everything mounted. And I'm just gonna stick this through here. Okay, it's not long enough, so I have to
Give it a little more space. Move this down. This gasket is really tight and it has to be, I mean, ultimately it has to seal the water off. Okay, I'll try this again. This thing should go towards the back. This here is where that lever for the pop-up mechanism goes in. I actually wonder if I should do this first. It came even with a very cute, tiny little roll of plumber's tape here. So that's the pop-up mechanism. And this is the lever that comes from up there. This piece, I think, feeds in here. Let's investigate this first. Figure out how that actually works. So here we have this, right? It's actually the same, but since I got a new one, might as well install the fresh. This feeds here from the back of the faucet. Feeds into this somehow. Okay. All right. And that angled part will sit in here. And poke into the actual plug. Where's the plug? Here. Here into this part. And then by leverage, by the action of pushing it up and down, it should open or close the drain. This sits in here. Okay. Haha, reading and watching helps. This rod actually pops out of here. Here. Now I can move this. Now I can move this nut over the washer like that. And then actually screw it in there. Okay. Now I need to pop this in once I have this this assembly installed, and while I can still move it around. So I'm going to put the flange in, mount this part, then drop the plug in, then pop this in here, tighten it up, and then connect it to this lever that moves it coming from the top. Okay, so this is what this looks like. You can mount this rod while you can still twist this around here. Easier that way. See if I move this up and down, it moves the plug. I have to twist it backwards. And now the situation that I often have where this rod is actually too long. I hope I can, they made this flexible now. I don't think that fits. My main concern is I gotta get this back together without leaking. So, got a brand new drain pipe here with the new gasket. I'm gonna tighten this. this trap back on here. I'm gonna apply some more plumber's tape just because it's accessible right now, so I might as well. Once you wrap plumber's tape around the thread, you will feel that it's tougher to tighten a nut. Well, that's the point. And even if you pull it tight and it gets this string-like shape here, no problem at all. You just want stuff to seal the thread here. And I can do the same here. Actually, there is some here, but maybe give it a little extra. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. All right. So now same procedure as before. Push this up here. Tie this down. Tie this up. And I hope I have eliminated all leaks now. I heard when I started working on this, at one time when I tightened this, I heard a crack somewhere. So I hope I didn't cause something here to leak, because that would mean this is glued on here. That would mean I have to cut this and get a whole new piece glued on. At this point, I hope that's not going to be the case. It's a little worn out by now. The plier slips. Tight is good. After tight comes loose. And hope for the best. Looks dry for now. Turn the faucet off, it drains well. And all I hear is the noise in the pipe. I don't hear any dripping in the bucket. That looks good for now. So what I do after this, I'm gonna empty out the bucket and then place it back under the trap and leave it there for a few days just to see if I find a little water puddle in there after a while. If not, the bucket stays dry, then everything's good. And if we find some water in there, then obviously something still leaks. Alright, obviously I'm gonna clean this here, but this is not for a video. But look at this. Water doesn't build up anymore. Drains quickly as it should. Faucet runs on.